Welcome to KHE Report. Our topic today is happiness. According to the World Happiness Report in 2013, the ranking of happiness of Hong Kong is 64, comparatively lower than many of the neighboring countries, such as Singapore and Taiwan. So, are you happy? Let's see how people think of their happiness index.
I'm really happy. I do a 9.
3、4
So, what makes people happy?
有得食，有得住，有得瞓，有得着，開心。
我隻狗。Really close friend of mine.
Very good meal. 咁梗係收入啦。食嘢啊，屋企人咯。
我自己有信仰。
I can bring big money from the field.
食飯。
冇個自己心態嚟嘅啫。
朋友咯。你最開心係咩？
People say that Singapore is similar to Hong Kong in many ways. Dr. William Feng, who had lived in Singapore for a few years and is now teaching in Hong Kong. Let's see how he thinks about the differences of these two places.
There's perhaps more pressure in Hong Kong than in Singapore. From my experience, I think the kind of living pressure here is higher. If you compare the price of apartments is so much higher here than in Singapore. In Singapore, people generally, even if you are just a undergraduate, you are a fresh graduate, you don't have to worry about buying an apartment because the government will give you, 60 or 70% will be public housing.
If these problems, such as the living problem, are solved, will people here be happier?
Well, yeah, I think that generally they would be more happier. But well, there are two things that determine whether you are happy or not. Just the first thing I talk about is your attitude, right? And the second is the kind of objective things. Because the first it would be subjective, right? So it has to be the combination of these two. Like things in Hong Kong, in Singapore, right? Even if everyone in Hong Kong is provided with an apartment, there will be people that are not happy, right? So I think it helps, but then there's another factor that the government perhaps have to educate the people in terms of there's a kind of happiness education.
In other words, Hong Kong people have to worry more than the people in Singapore. We can see that Hong Kong people are quite wealthy, but we are not so happy. What are the reasons? Registered psychologist Dr. Yue Xiaodong suggests two main reasons.
One is that Hong Kong is a high-stressed place in all of Asia. So if living in Hong Kong means stress. Secondly, Hong Kong people pay less attention to their subjective well-being, subjective happiness. When we talk about happiness, there are subjective and objective.
Subjective happiness is how people actually feel, and objective happiness is how people think you would feel. One example of objective happiness is Leslie Zhang. He won lots of prizes, many think he should be happy. But to everyone's surprise, he committed suicide. Another example is Nick Vujicic. Armless likeness. Objectively, he wouldn't be happy, but subjectively, he's very happy.
Happiness is actually a subjective matter. It's your appraisal. It's your judgment.
We have heard of something called facial expression hypothesis.
Yeah.
And that is when someone is forced to smile, and he or she will actually be happier. Is that means the facial movements can influence the emotional experience? Or could you please explain a little bit more for us?
Psychological study shows that if you do laughter as an exercise, even though there was nothing funny, but the fact you've done it already helped it to improve your mood and also helped with their health.
Are there any long-term methods that could keep people happy?
Well, the long-term comes from your mind. So it's not the stress that matters, it's the appraisal that matters. You should try to be grateful, be more forgiving, be more optimistic, be more humorous, be more creative. If you have all of this, you will become a happy person.
Are you happy now?
Try to be. I think I'm just around 8. This is like my score. From 1 to 10, I I try to be happy. But I try to do it if I can stay 8 means mostly happy. I will be a happy person.
It is understandable that we can't be always happy. But what really matters is our attitude. Always remember, happiness is a choice. When there is a will, there is a way.